Well, we are excited to be here. We are doing our real talks at Hard Knox. Got the production team, Mom and Dad, and we're gonna get it done.
We headed all the way out to the coast, and on the way we stopped in. We had a sturgeon fish, but we also stopped at the Campbell River, and we did that crazy pink salmon fishing. That was insane.
Crazy, absolutely crazy.
Oh man,
Unbelievable that a fish of that size can rip line the way that they do. Like, I went over there expecting, oh yeah, 2-3 pound fish, like 4 or 5 weight, no problem. That's all I will ever need. Get out there with the 8 weight, and those things had the 8 weight bend right over. How many fish did I hook into that peeled me downstream and you couldn't turn them?
that was crazy. But the Chinooks weren't up yet. Not really.
Not
They were
You could
just
see
starting,
them.
because I think, remember that guy on the bank there? The guy that had the house, and he said the Chinooks are going to start coming?
Yep.
But even those pinks, like when you had those things on, they
Oh my
were
gosh.
going up in the air, and they're taking you downstream, and
Absolutely
oh my
unreal.
God.
Like, there's nothing you can do about it. You like I said already, you think 2 pound fish, that fish is, you know, it's gonna fight you good, but an 8 weight, I've landed pike over 20 pounds on an 8 weight fly rod, no problem. You hook into a 3 pound pink salmon and they turn into the current and there's nothing you can do.
And they were fresh. Like most of the salmon, the pinks that we got into, the kite hadn't started yet. They were still silver.
Yeah, they didn't have the hump on the back, like they weren't getting that gnarly look quite yet.
Not yet.
Just barely, some of those males barely had that kite and they had the colors. You could tell they'd been in the fresh water for a little while.
Started to change.
Yep.
Yeah. So the next day you really figured it out. And we went back to get some flies and that kind of thing, and you really got into them. And we actually missed filming that.
Yeah, the one day that it was the absolute best. It was unreal. And I had an older gentleman sitting behind me who lives there, and he's lived there his whole life. And he was sitting there chit-chatting with me for probably 3 hours, and he told me where to cast, what fly to use out of my fly box, and how to fish it, and how he would fish it. And he says, like, he just goes down there to watch the Goon Show. He just wants to see all the people. And he said there's nothing more entertaining than just going and watching all those people.
Actually, there were quite a few people just on shore just watching.
Yep, lots and lots of people.
Oh, there's
just so many people there.
And fish being caught left and right.
I'm not a huge advocate for fishing shoulder to shoulder, but in a body of water like that, that's just how it goes. That's just how you fish there. So it was very interesting. It was very interesting to see. I've never really experienced fishing like that before.
Because in that stretch of river at the very beginning, it's open for everybody. I think there was a couple of ladies and there was a gentleman there, and they were fishing. And I don't think they were getting into them. Actually, as soon as you arrived and you hooked into one, they're all like, what the heck? And you had one on, like, it was right there, and you dropped the...
Yep. I think I put I think it was just a little green Clouser minnow or something like that. Put it right in front of his nose and he'd swiped at it, and it was crazy. It was like 2 seconds. Although we didn't get any footage of the hook set on that fish.
No, because we just got there. And
they literally just arrived, and it was like just pulling my line out of the reel pretty much, and it's like, holy cow, there's one right in front of me. Boom, and of course he swiped at it.
Yeah, it's just weird because you don't see them surfacing and feeding or anything like that. But as soon as you put one of those things down, if you get it right, and next you know, you can't keep them off your hook, and they're dancing on top of the water. It's just insane. One
after the other. It's unreal. That was some unreal fishing.
If you go just a little bit bigger and just the wrong color, you got nothing.
Then you don't catch anything.
Nope. It's just
then you might, if you go a little bit too big, then you might hook into a Chinook, and then you're really screwed.
No.
I was having a hard time landing a big pink. Like every time I hooked into a pink that was like a little bigger than the other ones, you could tell immediately that fish was bigger. Like, it was just
that's wild.
Unreal, absolutely unreal.
And so for us, that was it. We didn't work with a charter or a guide on that. We just went.
Well, you don't have to. It's very easy to navigate. It's very easy to get out onto Campbell River in the salmon run and get into fish.
And I think maybe the downfall to that area is, first of all, parking, trying to find a spot.
Oh man,
yeah,
a little ruthless.
It seemed like at supper time it cleared out.
Yep. Oh, don't tell everybody our secrets though.
The fishing's no good at supper time.
You could just see it though. Like as soon as it started to get a little darker, as soon as the sun started to go behind those giant trees that are out there, those salmon would start to rise more. They weren't rising on food or anything like that. But they're coming up and they're gulping air. I'm not sure if that's because they're transferring from salt to fresh. Not exactly sure why they do that, but they all do that when they come into fresh water.
That's weird, eh? Yeah, I noticed that too.
So you'll see, like, you could see in our spot that we went to, every day we went to the same spot because it was the best spot that we found. It was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good, and it was like the easiest spot to kind of squeeze between people and make room for yourself.
Yeah.
It was just a mess of people, and it was like, yeah, we can see fish here, but they were being tough because we didn't really know what we had to do to get them. You know, there's certain ways to get your fly down to them properly, right? Like weighted sink tip lines and stuff like that. once we had that figured out, then it was like, yeah, we have a show, right?
Yeah.
As long as we have the space to not film other people there,
Right.
which was such a challenge. And even throughout the day, you know, we're sitting there with the camera set up, we're fishing. I hook into a fish and a gentleman doesn't realize that we're filming and he wants to have a full-out conversation. I had to tell him, I'm like, just give us a second, man. We're just filming. I have a fish. We just have to film this really quickly, and then we can talk, right?
Green number 8.
Yes, green number 8.
Except you weren't being.
I was being serious. That's literally what they did. So.
Yeah. What a great trip. Hey?
Absolutely unreal trip. And it was awesome to go on that trip with my film crew, my family.
Yeah.
It was amazing to spend that time with you guys, and lots of hours on the road, lots of hours on the water.
Lots of hours in the hotel together.
Oh, lots of hours in the hotel together. But lots of hours stuck to fish too.
Yeah, there was.
So
Well,
I really can't complain.
Here's the pink salmon.
Here's the pink salmon.